Hello everybody, this is Clueless here. I am in beautiful downtown Columbia, South Carolina on a lovely Thursday evening. I have a loaner car today because my 2008 RAV4 is in the shop for some kind of ridiculous repairs, but it is what it is, so I'm here to do a little review. This is a 2017, I believe, could be a 2018, but I'm pretty sure it's a 2017 Toyota Corolla LE. It has steel rims with some decent looking plastic hubcaps. They feel pretty solid, don't shake and rattle or anything. The car in general looks pretty nice. Those are some LED headlights right there. I like the black gloss accents on the front. Other than that, it doesn't have too many styling things. It's just plain white, body colored door handles, nothing really on the roof. And here's the rear end, just your standard tail lights and everything. It is a 1.8 liter 4-cylinder engine that puts out 132 horsepower, I believe. Check that on Google just to fact check me, make sure I'm not telling you anything wrong. The car came with some Continental ContiPro contact tires. They are, let's see, P205 55 R16s. So these must be 16-inch steel rims. I think the tires ride very smoothly, but they are definitely summer tires. This is South Carolina, so you don't need to prepare for a lot of adverse weather, but I would definitely switch out these tires if I bought this car, because that tire tread is just way too shallow for me. I think that makes me a little bit nervous. The car averages about 30 miles to the gallon. Highway is probably going to be close to 40, city maybe 25. It has a little LCD screen on the dash that says exactly what it is. You can see it in the moment and like overall for your trips. And right now it's averaging 29.5. So here's your key fob. It's pretty basic. At least it's remote, but you don't get a remote start, and it's not a push button start in this car. This is the LE, so it's one of the base trims. So I'll unlock it, get that typical Toyota beep, go inside. As you can see, everything looks pretty nice in here. It's organized, it's clean. I'm going to turn the headlights off. So you can look around a little bit. It's fairly spacious, definitely not vacuumed in here. We can go around, look at the materials. This is like, kind of like a hard touch plastic. This is more of a soft touch plastic. We have chrome trim door handles. There's some soft fabric thing here. There's not really any leather anywhere in this car. This is more hard touch plastic. The windows are just the driver's front is one touch automatic. The rest you actually have to hold down. There's child locks and everything. Up here, got your mirror system, dashboard light, dimmer, steering wheel. I wish I had set this straight, but I'll show y'all what it looks like in a second. We have our speedometer, tachometer, dash. This is soft touch with faux stitching. Visibility out the front is pretty good. This is more like hard touch plastic. Glove box down here. And the other side is about the same. The seats are fabric, pretty comfortable. Armrest is fabric. It's cushiony at least, but it's not fantastic. But you know, it's a base model Corolla, so you get what you get and you don't get upset. So here is the steering wheel, right side up. You can see you have your cruise control down here. It's just like every other Toyota, most Lexus products. You have your Bluetooth setup, some hard touch plastic here, faux stitching. The horn is kind of weak. Steering wheel is just like every other base Toyota. It's hard touch, but they do have this little inset separate material right here, and it feels good. It's grippy. It's pretty solid. Over here you have your lights. You have auto headlights. You can set them to parking lights, regular headlights, and you can turn the DRLs off if you don't want the LEDs running the whole time. Over here you have your wipers, intermittent wipers, get your washer spray and stuff like that. So here is the Corolla when it's on. You can see this lights up. It's like a nice ambient blue. This center LCD screen can change by pressing the display button on the steering wheel. So we have our average current MPG, thermometer, mileage, cruising range, average speed, elapsed time. So this is for each drive. Vehicle settings, I'm not going to go into depth with that. Meter settings, I'm not entirely sure what that does because obviously I don't own this car, it's just a loaner. Back to the average MPG, and I don't know exactly what that is. That might be something to do with the front collision warning, because it does have that up here. That is the front collision warning, part of Toyota Safety Sense. And yep, there we are, back to the original. So I'd like to just clarify one thing that I said earlier. The little compartment up there that I thought was the front collision warning, it could still be the front collision warning, but it's actually, it does the radar cruise control. So I have it set on 50 right now, and you can see there is nobody in front of me, and I have those 3 little bars in front of the car and the LCD display down there, and those will get shorter. So like it'll go down to 2 bars and then 1 bar. So this car is about to pull out in front of me. Let's see what it does. Yep, automatically braked for me. Went from 50 down to about 38. So the little car emblem popped up, and now it's returning back up to 50 miles an hour. So I think that's a nifty little feature. I don't know if it comes all the way to a stop, but it definitely slows down and then re-accelerates to your original speed. So over here we have the touch screen, which I think is pretty nice since I drive a 2008. My car doesn't really have this. So we can go to FM, go to 94.3 to Dude, or if you want to switch it, 97.5. The speakers are pretty good in here. I don't know where they are, can't find them. Oh, there it is in the front. I think it uses some form of JBL. That's what Toyota uses for the most part. They're definitely not as good as the speakers that I have in my 2008 RAV4, but in general, they get the job done. So it's nice. It's a touchscreen. It's pretty easy to operate, pretty basic. You have your air conditioning things down here. I think it is dual zone? No, it's definitely not dual zone. Single zone climate. Clock. And we can talk about the seat comfort a little bit. So these seats, they feel nice. The longest ride I've had in this car is about 20 minutes so far, but I've been very comfortable. Easy to sit in. There's plenty of leg room. I'm almost 6 feet tall. I had a friend in here earlier who's like 6'3", and he was completely comfortable. And they seem pretty supportive. They would be decent for a decent road trip. Other ports we have are cigarette lighter, stuff that can fit in there. There is one USB port up front and an aux jack right below that. That's nice. I like cars that still have aux jacks and not all Bluetooth and stuff. Shifter, it's pretty good, feels solid. Materials are good enough. Cup holders are nice and big up in here. Center console has a top pocket big enough for a good wallet. And when you open up the actual center console, it's small, but it's deep. You can fit a few things in there, but yeah, I mean, it's about what you would expect. These seats are not power. They, you know, slide back and forth. You can make the seat back go up and down or back and forth, whatever. And on the driver's side, there is a lever here so you can raise the seat or lower it a little bit. And that's about all there is to this interior right now. It's basic, but it gets the job done. So we can go into the rear of the interior. As you can see, it's pretty roomy for a car in this class. There's definitely enough leg room to sit here for a short amount of time. I don't know how happy I'd be after 2, 3, 4 hours in the back seat here, but it's comfortable enough, it's supportive enough, it's not luxurious, but it gets the job done if you have a couple people who want to ride in the back for a little bit. Just about the same materials from the front. I forgot to mention they have this nice like gloss black plastic accent on the interior here with a little aluminum colored plastic accent to the bottom. I do believe these seats fold down, so we're gonna try that real quick. Let me show that clearly. You pull up this thing, seats fold down, have direct access to the trunk, and that's really going to improve your cargo space if for some reason you decide to haul something large in a Corolla, which I'm not entirely sure why you'd want to do that, but yeah. So to open the trunk, obviously just a remote. It's not an electronic trunk or anything, but it's very light, more than enough room back there. If you lift up this part down here, donut tire, don't ride on that for more than 50 miles. So I'm going to talk a little bit more about the front collision warning. Just like almost every other car, there's this little housing device right here. There's like a radar sensor up in there, shoots out front. It'll give you a beep if you're getting too close to someone too fast. I haven't had it go off yet because I'm a very attentive driver, but it is Columbia, South Carolina, so you never know. Maybe I'll catch something like that on dash cam and I'll include it in the video. Other than that, this car, I don't believe it has any other features from the Toyota Safety Sense package. There are no mirror blind spot monitors. There's no like backup warning, but it does have a backup camera, and I will show that. Other than those things, the safety or the visibility in this car, I think it's pretty good. I'm used to an SUV, so for my car it's a little bit better, but all in all it's pretty good. This camera's very accurate. I backed up to the wall beforehand and I thought I was about a foot away in the camera, and I was almost exactly a foot away in real life. So the camera's pretty accurate. It gets you straight, and it displays distance pretty well. And all in all, the blind spots in the car aren't too bad. I had a little bit of trouble with that rear left pillar. I think it's just slightly too wide for my taste, but again, I have a RAV4 which has much bigger windows than this. So here's the front light configuration. Pretty simple. You get the LED headlights standard, which I do appreciate. Those are the turn signals. They're not too bright. No fog lights, and that high beam light is in the same place as the low beam, so that's also going to be an LED. You can see it's a little bit brighter. I'll show you the wall over here. Might be able to see it on there some, but yeah, it's kind of hard to tell while the sun is still out. Let's go to the back. So yeah, like I said before, taillights, blinkers. I'm not going to put it in reverse while I'm not in it because that would be foolish. But yeah, the taillights are bright enough and the brake lights are bright enough. So you can sort of see here how good the headlights are. These LEDs are very bright, and I think they're aimed down at the road well, so they kind of concentrate the light. They also won't get in other drivers' eyes. I can see off to the sides really well. Like the light projection is pretty even. And this is a completely like dark, unlit road, obviously. So let's try turning the brights on too. Yeah, so that just, it raises the light a little bit. It does get a little bit brighter, and it definitely goes further down the road. And I'm going to turn around because there is a stick on my car now, and it's getting kind of creepy here. gonna start the engine with the hood up real quick so that way you can kind of hear how it sounds. It's pretty quiet overall. Like when it sits in idle, it's pretty quiet, and I've revved the engine kind of hard a few times, and even that's pretty quiet. Yeah. So this is the 1.8 liter, 132 horsepower dual VVTi Corolla engine. It is fairly straightforward, very reliable, very easy to work on, and that's what makes this such a great car. There's a little electric disc horn that makes a whippy little meep sound, and I mean, that's all about I can say for this. Very reliable, practical car. I think if you're somebody who just wants a bare bones car, doesn't drive a whole lot, just is looking for reliability and practicality, then this is a great car for you. If you are looking for something that's more sporty, you could try one of the upgraded trims, but really I don't think Corollas are made for sportiness. It drives pretty smooth, it drives pretty comfortably, but it is definitely not a sporty ride, and I consider myself to be a spirited driver, so I would definitely not be purchasing this for myself. But yeah, if you are a nice calm driver who just does a couple 100 miles per month, you might only have to fill up a tank of gas once a month, and I think you will be very happy with the reliability and practicality of this car, because it's one of the most dependable Toyotas ever made. Really, if I have any other recommendations for this car, is if you are seriously in the market for buying a Corolla and you wanted to make certain upgrades, I would go with the like better safety technology package, because that seems to be really popular these days. So the Toyota Safety Sense, or like Toyota Safety Sense Plus, whatever they're offering right now, I would go with that over just the front collision warning. I would also maybe upgrade to like a sport package, because you get a little bit higher quality materials and a sport driving mode, which, you know, sometimes might just be a little bit more fun than the regular driving mode. Other than that, if you are just looking for a reliable, practical car, then this Corolla is definitely for you. It's very economical, and you will be able to depend on it for years and years to come. Alright, I think that's all I have to say about this. Thanks for the review today. Hope y'all have a good weekend and everything else. Let me know if you have any questions. I'm going to do my best to try and answer as many as possible. Thank you, and see y'all later.